You know, car companies are spending millions on these beautiful glossy ads. You've seen them. Lush forests, clean blue skies, all to sell you an electric car. But what if it's not working? What if they're basically just throwing that money away? Let's get into it.
So here's the big question we're digging into today. We are all pushing for green solutions, right? But for some reason, these big-budget green ad campaigns for electric vehicles just aren't landing with actual buyers. Why is that?
And check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. While those ads are falling flat, the actual market for battery electric vehicles is on fire. Take Indonesia, for example. Sales literally quadrupled in just 2 years. So if it's not the ads, what is it? What's really getting people to switch to electric?
To figure this out, researchers went right to the source. They conducted a really focused survey of 100 potential car buyers in the Greater Jakarta region, an area they call Jabodetabek.
And they didn't just talk to anyone. They honed in on what is the fastest growing and most competitive slice of the market in Indonesia, the 200 to 300 million rupiah price range. So the insights we're about to see, they're coming straight from the heart of where the real action is.
All right, so what did they find? This is the good stuff. This is the real story behind that massive sales boom.
And the results were pretty shocking, actually. The study found that all that green promotion, all those expensive ads we talked about, had no significant influence on whether someone intended to buy an electric car. So what was the secret sauce? It's something called green perceived value. Turns out, it's not about what the company is telling you, it's about what you, the consumer, truly believe is the value of going green.
But of course, this feeling of value doesn't just appear out of thin air. The research also backed up something absolutely critical. You have to start with a genuinely good green product. You can't just talk about value, the car itself has to be the real deal. So let's just walk through what a successful sale actually looks like. It all starts here. You need a proven, high-quality green product. This is your foundation, a car that works well, is reliable, and actually delivers on its eco-friendly promise.
Now, once you have that solid product, that's what allows a customer to build up this powerful sense of high perceived value in their own mind. They start to see and feel the benefits for themselves, not just what they've been told in an ad.
And when you put those two together, a strong product plus high perceived value, that's it. That's the direct path to purchase intention. This is the engine that's actually selling cars. Okay, so we keep talking about this green perceived value. It's obviously the key. But what on earth is it, really? Let's break it down into simple terms. Think of it like this. It's the customer's internal scorecard. They're weighing all the good stuff a green product offers against the costs, and then they're checking if it lines up with their own personal goals for the environment. It's their gut check on what's in this for me and for the world I care about. And that scorecard is built on 4 key pillars. First, there's the environmental benefit, cleaner air, smaller carbon footprint. Then there's the functional stuff. Does the car perform well? Is it reliable? Next is the emotional benefit, that feeling of pride you get from doing the right thing. And finally, there's the social angle, looking modern and being seen as someone who's conscious of their choices.
But here's the thing. Among those 4, for consumers in Indonesia, one factor just blew the others out of the water. It was the direct, tangible benefit to the environment.
And this chart really shows you why. For people living in Indonesia, which has the highest air pollution in Southeast Asia, this isn't some abstract save the polar bears idea. It's about the air their kids are breathing every single day. The idea of a car that doesn't make that smog worse, that's not a nice to have, that's a powerful, personal, and urgent need.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem and we've found the solution. The big question now is, how do you turn these insights into an actual game plan?
Well, based on this research, it's not just a list of suggestions. It's more like a mandatory, non-negotiable checklist for any leadership team that's serious about winning in the BEV space.
So here it is. Number 1, stop promoting and start proving. Shift that marketing budget away from generic ads and into things that let people experience the value for themselves. Number 2, lead with the local environmental urgency. Forget abstract global goals for a minute and talk about cleaner air in Jakarta, right now. And finally, number 3, engineer for quality. Never ever forget that this all falls apart if the product itself doesn't deliver. That quality is the bedrock you build everything else on. So, this gives us a really clear playbook for today. But of course, this kind of groundbreaking research always opens up some new, really interesting questions for tomorrow. You start to wonder, right? Do these same rules apply to the super high-end luxury BEVs?
How do government incentives and subsidies change what people value over the long run? And what happens in a city that already has clean air? Would green perceived value still be the most important thing? These are the next big puzzles for the industry to solve.
And all of this really boils down to one final, crucial question that every company in this space needs to ask themselves. Are you marketing perceived value? Or are you just selling a list of features? Because honestly, the answer to that question is probably going to decide who wins this electric revolution.